Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me for today's edition of Status Hearing. This class is just designed to be kind of a ritual, a morning ritual to help you get out of your head and into your body so that you can kind of feel your way through the day so that you're not in your head all the time. I have found that when I consciously start my day by becoming aware of my body, it helps me to stay in the body a little bit more during the day, and that helps me to be more present during my day. So my hope is that this will allow you to experience some of that same calm and stress relief. It has been tremendously helpful to me to learn to stay in my body throughout the day. Let's start on the back as we always do with some mindful breathing. Rest one hand on the belly, rest one hand on the chest, and just start to inhale into the belly. Exhale and relax the belly. And you can do this as fast or as slowly as is appropriate for you. I'm hoping that there's no problem with the audio. You can do this as fast or as slowly as is appropriate for you. We start with the breath because it's a way to connect the mind and the body. If I'm concentrating on the sensations in my body from my breath, my mind begins to connect with my body. So feel the belly fill, gently relax, and you can begin to add a little effort to this. Exhale and pull the belly toward the spine. Feel your waist getting a little bit smaller, getting a little more stable, feeling a little more strong, I'm guessing. Exhale, pull the navel toward the spine. As you continue to breathe, feel the sensations of the breath expand into the pelvis and into the ribs and chest. As you exhale, the ribs come together. You can feel that. When you inhale, they expand. When you exhale, they come together. You can move your hands to your chest. Feel the chest expanding, and as you exhale, relaxing toward the floor, your ribs coming together, your belly falling. Next step is going to be to turn your attention to exhaling every last ounce of breath out of your body. Exhale. Every last bit. When you get to the end, you're going to find that you're able to connect with your pelvic floor. What? Your pelvic floor. It's going to be in this vicinity, but you may not have ever been aware of it. When you're completely out of breath, there's nothing in there. You will feel that pelvic floor kind of pushing up because it's trying to stimulate you to take a breath. That's what you feel when you're like, oh, I gotta breathe. So can you begin to breathe, inhaling from the bottom to the top, and then exhaling from the top to the bottom. As you inhale, you're going to feel your belly rise, ribs, chest, maybe even the shoulders open up. And you can spread your arms nice and wide if that feels appropriate for you. As you exhale, the shoulders flatten toward the floor, the chest flattens toward the floor, the ribs come together, the belly pulls toward the spine, and at the very, very end, When all the breath is out, you feel that pelvic floor. And that stimulates you to breathe again. Pelvic floor, belly, ribs, chest, shoulders. We'll go back down, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Pelvic floor, belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, maybe even neck. Exhale, neck and shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Do a couple of more of those breaths. See if you can check off all the points on the way up and on the way down. And if you forget, it's okay. I'm going to avoid talking you through it so you can do this as fast or as slowly as feels appropriate for you. Now, I suspect you're probably picking up on some other sensations about now. As you inhale into your chest and shoulders, maybe you feel your chest expand. Can you lengthen through the arms, from the shoulders out through the fingertips? And then as you exhale, press the back of the arms toward the floor and drop shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Open up, fill, lengthen the arms, and then press the arms and shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. When you get to the pelvic floor, can you feel yourself pushing into your feet? And if you can't, try that and see what happens. Opening, filling the chest, exhaling, step by step down, feeling more and more pressure in the feet. Very end, inhaling again. Now this time, as we move down with the exhalation, press into the feet and tuck the pelvis slightly under. I'm going to exaggerate it here. So if my back were arched, I'm tucking the pelvis slightly under. You don't have to lift your hips off the floor. You can if you want to. So inhale, filling everything, hips, belly, ribs, chest and shoulders, arms. Exhale, neck, and shoulders and arms, and chest, and ribs, and belly, and pelvic floor. Push into the feet and gently tuck your pelvis under. So I'm going to begin moving a little faster. Begin pushing into your feet as well, so that you're almost pushing yourself all the way up to the opposite wall. On your next exhalation, we're going to lift the hips just a little bit. Keep breathing, and as you exhale now, again, move from the top to the bottom. As you get to the bottom, tilt your pelvis and lengthen out through your thighs. Send energy to the opposite wall. Inhale, relax. Exhale, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Send the energy out through the thighs. If your thighs or gluteals or hamstrings are getting tired, they probably are by now, try to relax. Yes, there's a little bit of pain back there. Yes, there's some lactic acid building up back there. Breathe into it. Be friends with it. Don't push it away. Don't hate it. Breathe into it. Let it become part of you. It's pain. It's temporary. On your next exhalation, one more time, exhale firmly. Send energy out through the knees. Inhale one last time. And now as we exhale, we're going to drop one vertebrae at a time, coming down to the floor. One vertebrae at a time. And just allowing the body to relax. From here, we'll bring our hands behind the head. Gently lift your head off the floor, just an inch or two. Press the back of your head into your hands. Pull your elbows apart, but resist with your fingers. So I'm going to inhale again. As I exhale, I'm lifting my head, pushing my head into my hands, pulling my arms apart, and then dropping neck, shoulders, and chest, ribs, stomach, pelvic floor. Inhale, fill the hips, fill the belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, maybe even the neck, and press the head into the hands. And exhale, head and neck, shoulders and arms, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Can you even feel the lengthening of the thighs here? So that maybe you're feeling engagement in your whole core. You're feeling the shoulders pulling away from the ears, the chest dropping to the floor, the ribs and belly dropping toward the floor, the pelvis, feeling the knees, maybe even the outsides of the calves as your feet push into the floor. Inhale, just release. That's our relaxation phase. Exhale. That's our effort phase. Inhale, release. Just go as fast or as slowly as feels comfortable for you. I'm adding on now. As we inhale, press your head into your hands. Pull your arms away from each other, but resist with your fingers. And now as you exhale, slide your shoulders down your back. Press your head into your hands and move down your core, all the way to the pelvic floor, all the way to the hips, to the knees, to the feet, to the toes. And then inhale up. Pull the elbows gently. Exhale, push the head, neck and shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. One last time, in. One last big effort, out. And as you inhale, we'll relax. And just let your arms go. Gently roll to one side. And we're going to come up onto the belly. Bring your forearms about shoulder width apart. Forearms are about shoulder width apart. Press into your hands and forearms. Inhale, exhale. Push into your hands and forearms. Slide the shoulders away from your ears and pull the navel to the spine. So if the belly is facing the floor and we're pulling the navel to the spine, we're pulling the belly away from the floor. Let's start focusing on the upper body. Start with your pelvic floor. Inhale all the way up. Feel yourself pushing your hands away as you push down into the floor. Exhale. Push the back of your head and neck. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Pull the navel toward the spine, all the way out to the pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, relax, push your arms away. Exhale, back of the head. Slide your shoulders down, press into your forearms, all the way down to your pelvic floor. One more time, in. Biggest effort of all. And as you inhale again, you can gently relax. From here, let's see here, I'm trying to figure out the best position is bringing my arms out to the sides. And I need to start this next exercise by pulling my shoulders away from my ears and tucking my belly. Now, when I do that, the thighs squeeze together. Think about extending the tailbone down toward your feet. And notice how that helps you feel a lengthening from the hips down toward the knees. I'm going to tuck my head under so that my chin is lifting away from the floor. Inhale, fill, and feel the belly press against the floor. Exhale, pull the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the arms, pull the chest up to the spine, the ribs together, the belly lifts, all the way out. Exhale, all the way out. Squeeze knees and ankles, lengthen your tailbone toward your feet. Inhale, relax. Here we go, exhaling from the top to the bottom, head and neck pushing behind, shoulders sliding away from the ears. You can lift the fingers off the floor just a fraction of an inch if you want to. Move it all the way down. Inhale, relax. Exhale, engage. Head, neck, and shoulders. Arms, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Feel the thighs, calves, feet. Inhale, relax. We're going to do 2 more of those. Exhale, engage. Inhale, relax. Last time. Exhale, engage. And on your next inhalation, gently let everything go. We're going to vary that one more time. This time I'm going to have you place your chin on your hands, squeezing both legs together. So I'm squeezing hips, thighs, calves, ankles, balls of big toe. Taking a nice deep breath again, kind of feeling everything expand against the floor. As I exhale, again, I'm exhaling from the top to the bottom, pulling the navel away from the spine, extending the tailbone down toward the feet, and just curling my knees to a 90-degree angle. Inhale, relax my thighs, feel my body expand. Exhale, top to bottom. Curling my knees just to 90 degrees. Inhale, relax. Exhale, back of the head and neck, shoulders, chest pulls back, ribs pull back, belly pulls back, pelvic floor. Very deliberate, very slow, very engaged movement. One last time here, inhale, exhale. Inhale, relax. From here, we'll come up onto all fours. Knees about hip width apart, tops of the feet on the floor. I'm going to lean forward so that I can press into my palms and fingers. As I do that, my shoulders want to hunch up to the ears. See if you can rotate. Well, start by pulling your shoulders away from your ears. And then you can see the wrinkly spot in my elbow. Rotate that toward your thigh. Play with that a few times. Relax your shoulders. Maybe even you might feel them hunching back up toward your face. Slide them away. Lengthen your neck. Rotate those shoulders. When you rotate those shoulders, you really need to push into the hands and fingers because they're going to want to move out, and we're resisting that. So one more deep breath, pull the shoulders down, rotate the elbows. Inhale, lift away from the floor. Exhale, sink into the hands and fingers. Lengthen through the arms, widen through the collarbones. Inhale, push away. Fill the hands, arms, belly. Exhale, push down into the hands and fingers. Push into the thumbs, index finger, ring finger, middle finger, pinky finger. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So the front is pulling toward the back. One more time. Inhale. As we exhale, the front pulls to the back. Widen your shoulders. Pull everything toward the spine. And inhale, sitting back on your heels. From here, we're just going to go back as far as is comfortable. So you might be touching the floor, or the heels, you might not be. Wherever you are, as you inhale, imagine that you're going to slide your knees apart, but don't really do it. Just make the effort. So as I inhale, I'm imagining that I'm sliding my feet apart, pressing into the shins and the tops of the feet. Exhale, imagine you're pulling them back together. Inhale, imagine you're sliding your shins apart. You're just making an effort. Feel that in the outside. See if you can feel that in the outside of the entire leg on both. See if you can sense that in the hips, outer thighs, outsides of the knees, outsides of the calves and ankles, even the feet and toes. As you exhale, pull the legs together. Feel that in the inner thighs, insides of the knees, calves, ankles, insides of the heels, inside arches, big toes. So do some repetitions as fast or as slowly as is appropriate for you. Inhale, fill, expand, widen. Exhale, empty, contract, shorten. Inhale, exhale. And if you're thinking, oh, I could even engage my arms too, you're absolutely right. Inhale, push everything apart, including your arms. So feel the outsides of your shoulders and triceps and forearms and hands, outsides of your core. Exhale, pulling everything in. We'll do 2 more breaths here. Last time, biggest inhale of the day. Exhale, biggest exhale of the day. Biggest contraction, most effort, and relax. Let's go ahead and come down to the back. Finish out with a little bit of silent stillness. You can position yourself in whatever way feels comfortable. If it's comfortable for you to keep the knees up, feel free to do that. You can extend the legs, just let them fall out to the side. We just want to be comfortable here. We've spent the last 25 minutes focusing pretty closely on the breath, on the changes in the body that occur with the breath. We focused on feeling parts of the body as those parts were making different efforts to move or remain still or expand or contract. That's what we're talking about by getting into your body. And notice that none of that had to be painful. You certainly can make it harder for yourself if you want to. You will get muscles from it. But you don't have to. And if it ever feels painful, you pushed a little too hard. Err on the side of caution. Because the goal isn't difficulty. The goal is to sense into what's happening in the body at any given moment. And I suspect for the last 25 minutes, that's about all you've been focused on. What was happening to the body? I flipped you around and I had you extend your arms in one direction, extend your legs in another direction, lay on your back, lay on your stomach, all these things. But you were the only one that could sense into whatever it was that you were feeling. You may have sensed yourself going a little over the effort in effort point and into the point of pain. Or maybe you were just sensing your body moving, noticing that in fact, oh, those arms could be longer. Who knew that you could do that? Those legs, I could lengthen those legs if I want to. They're strong. Even my feet are strong. When we awaken each morning and practice body-centered, breath-centered activity, doesn't even really matter what it is. We kind of place ourselves on a solid foundation of being in the body. What's the benefit of that? Well, For me, it takes me out of my head. I could go along and never stop and never feel anything. And for years, I was dead from the neck down. I didn't feel into what I was doing. I injured myself constantly because if I wanted something to happen, the only way that I could do it was to kind of club myself over the head, figuratively, with my words and my attitude. With a lot of ill will and generally just unkind action. Speaking to myself unkindly, disrespectfully. As I've watched my son grow up and I see other adults speaking to him disrespectfully, I've always made an effort to remind him that nobody has the right to do that to you. They may be adults and you're not an adult yet. They may be in position of superiority in that their position at work or they're teachers and you're the student. But that's wrong. They have issues. Don't make that your issue. And it was through those reminders that it occurred to me, don't make that your issue either. Don't beat yourself up over the head to make yourself do more or change or go faster. Would I have ever done that to him? Absolutely not. And it occurred to me, I'm no different. He doesn't deserve it. I don't deserve it from anyone. If we have a difference of opinion, we can talk it out. If it gets heated, we can step back. As long as I'm in my body, and not 24/7, but touching into it, coming back out, touching into it, coming back out, I feel when the stress gets to be too much. I feel when the difference of opinion is beginning to become personal, or I'm not dealing with this productively. I didn't used to be able to do that. I didn't used to be able to have any perspective because I didn't feel into it. And that's what this body-centered work has done for me, and what I hope that it may be able to do for you. When your body is tight and uncomfortable, that's a signal to change something. But if that's your MO, that's how you feel all the time, how can you know what tight feels like versus untight? We can gain so much knowledge by checking into those little aches and pains. A lot of them may be psychosomatic. They may be there as a result of mental or emotional stress. You'll never know if you never look. Take a few more moments of silent stillness. Feeling your body relax. Feeling how natural that diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing feels. We'll bring ourselves back from Shavasana, back from our stillness in whatever way feels appropriate. Long stretch with the arms and legs, movements in the hands and fingers, toes and ankles. Gently roll to one side. And on your next inhalation, you can bring yourself back to a position. I did not realize how late it was getting. I apologize. Thank you so much for joining me. I will pay better attention to the time. I hope this was helpful for you. I left my email address on the YouTube page. If you have questions about anything we've done, or you have specific issues that you're curious about, if I can answer those questions, I will do so. Thanks again for joining me, and I do hope that you'll come back tomorrow. I'll also be here today at 12:15 for a 45-minute flexibility bodywork session. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.